thank you for being here today in a great moment for us, and appreciate you taking time out of your day. We are excited about the direction we're going in our baseball program. Before I go any farther, I definitely want to thank Ken Henderson for all the things he's done for the program. There's not very many times you can stay at one place as long as he has stayed here. And I promise you, I couldn't. I usually got ran off about year 5 or year 7. So, and actually this is the only place I stayed 7, so that's pretty good tenure here. But, we want to thank him. But as I said, we're moving on to a new era. And, we went through an extensive search. Mike Reese was a part of that search. He's been here a long time and long-time baseball guy. Jimmy Carrianis was a part of that search. And then we also reached out to a lot of people. And, I can't mention some of them because to protect them a little bit. I will tell you one of our own, Mark Newman. That name should be familiar to anybody that follows baseball. He'd been with the Yankees organization forever, and George Steinbrenner's right-hand man, also coached and played here. And so we had a lot of good people, help us. And with that, we had great candidates. Great candidates. And anytime you have that, you got to do your research. But at the end of the day, it kept coming back to one person. And kept going back to Lance, and not very often can you get 3 people in a room and get them all on the same page, but we all got on the same page, and we always look. I've said all along, when we hire people, we look for the perfect fit. What's the perfect fit for us here at Southern Illinois? And there's no question in my mind that we have found the perfect fit. We have invested in baseball. We're going to be good in baseball, and we're going to win in baseball. And, that's what we're going to do. And so at this time, you do not want to listen to me. You want to listen to the next head coach here at Southern Illinois, Lance Rhodes. So let's give him a hand. I hope this won't fit me. You can get better players than I am. There you go. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for coming out. I did not expect this crowd, to be honest with you. This is pretty impressive. And I've been on campus now for 3 days, and when I see a family like I've seen the last several days, that's something that's truly special to be a part of. And first day on campus, I got here on Friday and walked into the basketball arena and met hundreds of people and have forgot their names by now. Hopefully I'll learn those over the next couple months. But I don't know if it was a Friday in the summer and everybody was happy because they were about to go on a weekend. But it was truly a family environment, and that's what's special about me coming to this place, to be able to dive into this family, get my family in with you guys, and you guys welcomed me better than I could have ever imagined, and I'm extremely thankful for that. There's many people that I have to thank in order for me to be able to stand where I'm standing today. And I'm going to keep that one pretty short, because if I get to naming a bunch of names, I'll forget some of the special people that have put me in this position today. But, I want to thank, Coach Kill, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to lead this program, who has so much storied success. And for him to trust me as a first-time head coach is something that I'll remember for the rest of my life and be extremely thankful for. I want to thank all the former players that have worked extremely hard and put in the extra hours and time, that have been very successful that have given me the opportunity to be a head coach. Without those players, I wouldn't be standing here today. So thankful for all the former players that I've had the opportunity to coach. I've been around 3 unbelievable head coaches as an assistant. Mark Hogan, who was a friend of mine whenever I was growing up. He's actually here today. Could not have asked for a better coach to help me get started. He guided me as a player at Southeast Missouri State, showed me what it was like to treat people as a coach to a player, treat them like family. And he also gave me the first opportunity as a coach. You know, as you're trying to break into this business, you got to have somebody that takes a chance on you. And he did that as a 23-year-old kid. He gave me an opportunity. And without that opportunity, again, I wouldn't be here today. So can't thank Coach enough for that. Coach Fournier, Rob Fournier, a legend in junior college baseball, gave me an opportunity as a pitching coach to guide a program. And for the first time, he said, "It's on you. Go do it." And who knows how many times I screwed it up those first 3 years, but he stuck with me, and I can't thank him enough. And then I got an opportunity to work with Steve Beazer for 8 years, arguably one of the best Division I baseball coaches in the country, and showed me the value of running an entire program with culture and so many other factors other than just the execution of X's and O's, and showed me what it's like to treat players with respect and to earn their respect, and could not be in this position again without him. So thankful for him. Thankful for my mom and dad, who they've thought I've been the best player, best coach ever. And without their support, I wouldn't be here. As a volunteer coach, you have to have a family that can help support you, get you into the college game. They did that 11 years ago. They supported me when I first got in. So it's led me here today. So extremely thankful for them. And then the most important person is my wife, Brittany. She has, allowed me to have a job to where I get to show up at a baseball field for 11 years. And she had no idea, we had no idea what we were getting into when we first got into the coaching business. And there's so many times where, she's had to take care of the kids on her own, where I'm out recruiting, and she works a heck of a lot harder than I do. So I'm extremely thankful for her and what she does to allow me to be able to coach college baseball. And it wouldn't be fun if she wasn't on board. So extremely thankful for everything that she's done for me so far. When I talk about who I am, I'm a builder, and I've been a builder at 2 programs before I've had the opportunity to come here. And the same message that I've sent for the last 7 years is the same message that I'll send to the recruits here immediately at SIU. And it's, do you want to be a builder or do you want to be a renter? And I want recruits that have that vision, that share that vision, that want to build something extremely, extremely impressive, that's going to be dear to their heart whenever they come back in 15, 20, 25 years on alumni days, that they can say, hey, we're the guys that helped build SIU baseball into what it is today. So I'm all about building, and I want to build as a family. I want you guys to support in that part of the process of building SIU baseball into what I truly believe and envision it to be. The motto that we're going to go by is what I call climb the ladder. And what it is, it's just a one-step approach time to taking this thing and not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but one step at a time, making this program into what we all believe it can truly be. And when you talk about that, for me, there's 4 steps to the success, and it begins with trust. My job as a new coach, I didn't get an opportunity to recruit these players, but it's my job to earn their trust with work ethic, with relationships, and just letting them know that everybody in this athletic department has their best interests at heart. And I'm going to do everything I can to express that to those guys, to get them to buy into doing what we want them to do as coaches. And then the second part of that is family. I want to get 35 like-minded guys in that locker room that love and want to be around each other, to where they build that brotherhood of friendships for the rest of their lives. And if we can get like-minded guys on the same page, we have an opportunity to walk out of that clubhouse onto the field and do some special things. The third part of that is education. We're going to put the academic part of it at the utmost importance. I want to have our guys that have a goal of achieving a degree within a 4 to 5 year window, and working along all the great people here at this university, we can make sure that those guys are set up successfully for the rest of their lives. And then the second part of that is baseball. What I love to do is to give them the best baseball education that they can possibly have at the Division I level. And my staff and I will work tirelessly in order to make that happen, providing the first class work ethic that we can model to our guys in order for them to follow suit, in order to achieve the dreams of being champions on and off the field. And then the last part, the fourth step, is just the social development part of it. I want our guys to be out in this great community. I want them to be involved. That way the people in this community want to come out and support the baseball program, whether it's just having people in the stands, supporting us, or just being excited about the program in general. I want to get out. Our guys are going to get in the community. They're going to do a lot of community service hours. I want them to be visible. I want the program to be seen in this area, this region, nationally. It's a program that, in my opinion, has a chance to really make an impression on the nation with what we have here at SIU. So extremely ready to get that part of it going. And then really what I want our product to look like is just a relentless pursuit of excellence in all areas. I want you guys to, whenever you see a baseball player on campus, you know it's a baseball player by the way he's carrying himself, by the way he looks, by the way he dresses, by the way he interacts, the way he talks. I want him to have that aura about him that you just know, man, there's something special about that team. There's something special about that player. And I want you to be able to come to the field and watch us play and walk away with that wow moment of, man, those guys really get after it. For 27 outs, those guys really get after it. They play extremely hard. There's never a sign of panic. And I want to come back and see these guys play more. And if we can do that, if we can have those high character kids in this program, I truly believe there's no reason why we couldn't have an opportunity to go to Omaha. And that's my goal as a college coach. I've dreamt of getting to Omaha, Nebraska ever since I stepped foot as a college baseball coach, and it'll be my dream until I'm done coaching college baseball. So I truly believe it can be done. I can't wait to get started here and take this program to the vision that Coach Kill has, and I'm right on board with everything that he is laid out for me. So I'm, again, extremely thankful, Coach, for giving me this opportunity. I can't wait to get involved with the athletic department, to know you guys better, to get my family involved with your guys' families, and if there's anything that I can do, let me know. But again, thank you so much for coming out. I'd love to answer any questions if you guys have, but thank you again for having me.
As far as recruiting, what will your emphasis be? Local, St. Louis area, Midwest? I've heard that you've recruited out west a little bit, or any combination of that.
Yeah, so for me, you've got to be really solid in your home state. So we'll have our footprint in the state of Illinois. But with the high school scene, I have, for the last 11 years, lived in the Midwest and northern part of the country, the northern Midwest. So we will hammer out the Midwest to Illinois to the upper Midwest on the high school scene. And then junior college kids, I've been very successful going all throughout the country on the junior college scene. So we'll hit the entire nation junior college-wise, whether it's out west in California, down in Florida. We'll expand all throughout the nation from there on that.
It's kind of hard nowadays. When Itchy came in, I can't remember whether those players could go to the pros so much earlier than they can now. Now they can go just after 1 year or something like that. Is that why there's more emphasis for junior college players sometimes?
Well, you got to find that fine balance of a really, really solid player that's not too good to go to the draft. And, so for me, you start with high school. That's your base. You try to get the best high school talent that you possibly can get. And then you look at at the end of the summer, you look at what's the needs that are still have to be met. And then you address it with the junior college level. And I'm a big fan of the junior college level. Obviously, I coached there for 3 years. I've had a lot of success with junior college players in my short coaching career. But when you find the right guys, they have that maturity about them. They have that strength about them that can come in and play right away. So, I think it's a really good blend that, you go out and you get high-end high school talent, and then you blend it in with junior college players that are ready to come in and play right away.
Will you still be needing to recruit a little bit before next year?
There's needs that are out there right now. There's players that I have been in contact with right now. So I think there's some really good possibilities of filling those voids. Some guys that I'd been recruiting before I got here. So we'll have a chance to bring in a couple really, really special players, I think.
What's important to you when you try to build a relationship with a recruit, a new player?
Yeah, it's just about getting to know them as a person, first of all. The initial call is obviously to let them know that you're super excited about their athletic ability. And then once you let them know that, hey, you're a guy that I want on my roster, then it's kind of diving into them from a personal standpoint. What's your family background? What your brothers, sisters, what makes you tick? And once you just start to build that relationships, the phone calls just expand more and more, and you really just want to know who they are as a person. And when they feel like you care about them and you express the need for them athletically, that's when they want to get on board and be a part of playing underneath you.
But do you have any plans yet for your coaching staff?
Excuse me?
Do you have any plans yet on your coaching staff or who you're looking at?
Yeah, so coaching staff right now is priority one, to get the coaching staff put in place. As you can imagine, there's been a bunch of people that are interested in this job. So just going through and trying to find what's the best balance of having an offensive guy, having a pitching guy, and blending those two together. Recruiting is going to be a huge piece to the puzzle. We want to be able to recruit at an extremely high level. And then once they get into our system, we want to be able to coach them. So just trying to go out and I'm trying to find the best balance of a guy that can recruit like crazy, but then can teach extremely well once they get on campus. So we're headed in the right direction as far as finding guys as our assistant coaches.
You've been a pitching coach and a hitting coach. Lance, what kind of style do you like, and what kind of style do you think will be successful here?
Yeah, so to me, I think it's been fortunate to where it puts me in a position to be more ready as a head coach, where I have for 7 years been a pitching coach. The last 3 years I've been on the offensive side of things. So I have a more idea, so to speak, of what I want the whole system to look like. And to not get long-winded about it, it's just I want to be, and I use the word relentless. I want to be, relentless with our pursuit of, throwing strikes on the mound to forcing the other team to have to beat us. I want to be relentless on dominating the routine play defensively. And then I just want to be relentless in our pressure on baseball on the offensive side, whether it's, forcing them to throw the ball in the strike zone, putting pressure, with our speed, playing the game at an extremely high level, but just being relentless, never giving in, never thinking the game's over, playing for 27 outs, and just making the other team, when they walk away, that whether they win or lose, they're exhausted. That they are extremely exhausted because they had to play for 27 outs in order, to beat us.
Coach, you've helped coach pitchers of the year and players of the year, conference players of the year. What does it take for a player to get to that level?
Well, a little bit of coaching, but a lot of recruiting. It's I've been very fortunate to those guys that were players of the year. They were they were pretty good when they stepped on campus. So, I'm not going to sit here and take a ton of credit on the coaching side. Now, hopefully I helped them in some ways, but in order to get those guys on campus, a lot of the work was done on the recruiting side of it. So, again, it's about building that connection. The recruiting piece is so vital. We have to be able to get out there and share our vision as coaches with those players. And like I said, get those builders, the guys that have the vision of taking a program and, we've got a great foundation, but just making it even more successful than it has been.
Lance, you're the first person in 50 years to coach SIU baseball who has no connection with SIU baseball. Is that significant to you? And what message might you have for alums and fans who haven't seen anybody from the outside, so to speak, in 50 years?
Yeah, so I haven't been a part of it, but I am now, and I want to be included in that family. That family knows SIU baseball a lot better than I do at this moment. So for me, it would be crazy if I didn't bounce ideas off of former alumni, former coaches, former players. I've got to use their resources to get to know this place. And bringing in my ideas and getting their ideas and just meshing it all together to where I can jump into this family and be a part of it. And, I want to be welcomed and I want to welcome them. And I want to make this thing a smooth transition to where, we can build this program into what we all want it to be. And, I think we can find a really special blend if I'm open-minded to hearing what their vision would be and me expressing what my vision would be and kind of blending those two things together.
Have you had a chance to meet the current players, and if so, how are those meetings going?
So I've met with 3 in person, some guys that were here, whether it's just working out and they're here for summer ball. One guy traveled in looking for some housing, things like that. So I have met with 3 guys face-to-face. Conversations went extremely well. They're just, they're excited about just having a clean slate. And all the other guys I've reached out either through a phone call or a text message at this time. So I have at least touched base with everybody, but I haven't had an opportunity face-to-face with everybody yet.
Why was this a great fit for you right now, the timing of it right now?
Yeah, so for me, I've dreamed of being a head coach for the last couple years. And with the opportunity to coach in the Missouri Valley Conference, a conference that in college baseball is as respected as any conference out there. So to have an opportunity to coach at this level where it's a multi-bid league to the NCAA regional is super exciting. But then when you put the family piece to it, my wife, her family is 45 minutes away. So to give her the opportunity to be close to her family is something that would is special for me to be able to do that because she's allowed me to coach for 11 years. So to be able to coach at the highest level and then have the family piece to be able to go with it, there was no better spot than right here.
You've mentioned recruiting more than once. It's probably at the top of the pyramid. What are the main challenges to recruiting to Carbondale?
Well, the main challenge is just competition in general. College baseball recruiting is fierce these days, and it's about getting your foot in the door with recruits first. If you're able to break in there and build that relationship first and get that connection with the player, then you have a chance to land that guy. And we have all the resources that we need to be able to win at an extremely high level here. It's just about the relationship piece of it. And you just got to, it's just work. It's hard work. And that's the thing as a recruiting guy that's made me successful is that I've been hitting the pavement for the last 11 years at an extremely high level. And that's what I envision our staff to do. I'm going to bring in assistant coaches that have that same desire to find the players because that's what college baseball is right now. It's a recruiting priority, and we have to have coaches that are willing to grind like nobody's business in order to get out there and make those relationships, those connections as soon as we can with the guy in order to get them to fall in love with this university.
ballpark's a pitcher's park for most people. That's their opinion of it.
When I think of offense, recruiting offense, I want to be adjustable is the word that I like to use, because we're going to play on ballparks that are big ballparks. We're going to play small ballparks. We're going to play in the spring where it's freezing cold, where the wind's blowing in, where the wind's blowing out. And we have to have the ability to play on any field on any given day and be able to find an offensive approach that works for that given day. Whether it's that day we have to play small ball because the wind's blowing in right in our face at 30 degrees, and we have to be adjustable in order to win that game. We can't just say this is our one approach, and if the weather or the umpires or whatever the external factors aren't in our favor, that we can't win that day. We have to be adjustable in all facets of the game.
Do you envision being a pitching coach or an overseer and hiring a pitching coach and a hitting coach?
So my ultimate goal would be to hire a pitching coach and a hitting coach, and for me to oversee. Again, I keep going back to this because the recruiting part of it is so vital. With me having 7 years as a pitching coach and 3 years as a hitting guy, it allows me to have that good blend of, if our guys need to go on the road, then I'm able to step in, whether it's in the bullpen or in the cage, wherever, and have some credibility with the players. It's not just me as a body, as a head coach that's standing in there. Whenever I'm asking for adjustments to be made, the players say, oh, well, he's been a pitching coach, he's been a hitting coach. So I have the credibility at least there to be able to go on both sides and allow the assistant coaches to have the freedom to go find players if they need to.
How did your time at Missouri prepare you for this moment and position?
Well, when you talk about that level of baseball in the SEC, it's regarded as one of the highest levels of college baseball. And, whether it's the SEC or when I was in the OVC, you learn from all the coaches that you come across. And if you're not learning from those coaches, then you're going the wrong direction. So, the SEC gets a lot of notoriety from the level of players that are there. But there's great coaches that I've learned from all across the country that I've taken notes from and just looked at their programs and just seen, how their players act, how they get off the bus, how they approach a pregame. Well, just a lot of different things. So, just over the last 11 years, just taking a lot of those mental notes as it's going on. And then when you get back to the hotel, you write things down, and you just kind of, over time, you put this system together that you think is really good. And it was a great experience. I would recommend, if you have an opportunity to do it, it's an awesome experience. But you learn from many people throughout this business.
Coach, you're talking about a lot of things that a lot of people might call intangibles. Isn't the game of baseball, from T-ball through the major leagues, isn't it all about the talent?
Well, it helps. That's why we were going to recruit at a high level, because whenever we're going to develop as best as we can as teachers and coaches, and we want to help elevate players, guys that, whether they're late round draft picks that come into our program, that we help elevate them to a high round draft pick, or guys that didn't have that opportunity out of high school, that we can come in and help them into professional baseball. The goal that I want every single recruit to have when he sits at my desk, I want him to have that dream and desire to play professional baseball. And as a coaching staff, it's our job to help develop those skill sets in order to give them an opportunity to achieve those dreams. So I would prefer to work with a talent base that's a little higher from a recruiting standpoint, to work from there up. So we'll have to recruit really well, but again, we want to develop extremely well too.
Any other questions? Appreciate it, Coach.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.